So now continuing the program, I would like to call Saugat Pokhrel from grade 12 to deliver his speech. So guys, let's welcome him with huge round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Saugat Pokhrel, and today I'll be talking to you about a Bangladeshi woman. A Bangladeshi woman who has to work 18 out of the 24 hours of a day in a shoe factory, making shoes and stitching shoes for us. In the 18 hours that she works, she puts in all the effort she can, all the hard work she can, and at the end of the day, what she gets $1 per day. That's it, $1 per day. That's not enough for her to feed her own self, to have a shelter in her house, to feed for her own health care. The day she gets sick, she does not have an ability to take leave from this office because that does not allow them to. She does not have paternity and maternity leave. So when she gets pregnant, she has to leave her own job, the only source of income she has, because she does not get leave from the office. And at the end of the day, she does not even have enough money to pay for her child's education, and that too when she has worked all her day with all the effort she can and all the power she can. This is the condition of most of the people around the world. Most of the people around the world are in this condition of poverty, and for those people, poverty is not just a state of mind, it's a forced choice. It's a forced choice that has been shoved upon them through mechanisms in place, through economic systems and political systems controlled by the rich of the world. Today, 90% of the wealth is controlled by just 10% of the population, and that 10 population gets to dictate the economic and political systems of the country. They get to decide who runs the country and how the country is governed. And because of this reason, they have the power to shove millions of people into the condition of poverty and to let them be born in a condition of poverty and die in a condition of poverty, and they do not get to choose how their life should be and what their life should look like. This is the condition of most of the people in the world, and it's because of us. It's because of the rich around the world, the rich who control it. For an example, let's take an example of the same company, right? The Bangladeshi factory that we are talking about. That Bangladeshi factory, for example, the company of Nike, expects the workers to come in, work for 18 hours a day, put in all the effort that they have to, all the hard work they have to work throughout the day, and at the end of the day, they don't have a job. At the end of the day, they don't pay them enough. They don't pay them enough for their own subsistence. They don't pay them enough to save for their own life. They don't pay them enough to have food and shelter, and they believe that it's okay for them to do so. They don't feel that they have an obligation towards these people, despite the fact that they have worked day in and day out to make the company millions of dollars. The company bags in millions of dollars, and these people do not have the ability to even feel their own stomach. They don't have the ability to fulfill their own hunger, and that's the kind of condition that is existent in today's world. That's the kind of status quo that we live in, and it's because the rules and the regulations allow these companies to do so. The rules and the regulations that are dictated by larger organizations allow you to run these companies, and these companies have the ability to pay them not to pay them basic income that's necessary, and it's okay for them to do so. And that's the kind of system that has been shoved upon these people, and that's why poverty is not just a state of mind. It's not just a state of mind for these people. What do we mean by absolute poverty? Absolute poverty, according to UN, is a condition where you are unable to pay just $1 a day. You're unable to make even $1 per day, and that's what we call is absolute poverty. And for most people, this might just be a number, but for these poor people, it means a condition. It means a condition in which they are unable to fill their own stomach. It's a condition in which they have to live the whole day starving and night homeless and cold in a weather. They do not have the ability to pay for their own sick child's medicine, or to fill this child's starving stomach. And this is the condition that people are living in. And no one in the world would ever want to live in such a condition if it was only up to their mindset. But it is not up to their mindset. It is upon the structures that are existent in the world, the structures that are existent in the society, that these people are born into and die and do not have an ability to change, because governments don't listen to them, because systems don't change, and the rich get to control these people and to control the countries that they are living in. And that's the status quo we're living in. but these people don't even have any basic right. For example, one of the most important basic rights that every person in the world would think is necessary is one of education. An education that helps you to come and climb the ladders of the society. And people don't have that. Poor people around the world do not have the ability to pay for it. And because they don't have the ability to pay for it, they do not have the ability to climb the societal ladders, to become rich and to have the condition that they want to live in. They are incapable of changing the society and the situations that they are living in because of the structures that exist in the society, because of their lack of rights, and because these companies get to dictate how their lives are. We, on the other hand, we elites, we have the privileges in the society. We have the privilege to go to an expensive college. We have the privilege to have food in our house. We have the privilege to live in a good shelter. And from there, we should not be looking down on these people. We shouldn't be vilifying them by saying that poverty is just a state of mind. We should be empathetic towards them. We should be empathetic towards that Bangladeshi woman. We should be empathetic towards the beggars that we see in our day-to-day life. Empathetic towards the poor kids in Africa and the poor kids in the slums of Kathmandu. We should be empathetic towards them, and that's what my point is. We should not say poverty is just a state of mind, but be empathetic towards this poor. Thank you.
Thank you, Saugat. Poverty is absolute and most importantly, global issue.